Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I'm going to talk about self blame after abuse, and I'm also going to be explaining to you how you can move from blame to responsibility. Actually, if there's one thing which will happen after you've left that abusive relationship, is you may find yourself blaming yourself for almost everything which happened in the relationship. You may blame yourself for not recognizing the red flag. You may blame yourself for their changed behavior. You may blame yourself for your ex's actions. You may blame yourself for putting your children through that relationship. You may blame yourself for staying too long. You may also find yourself blaming yourself for everything which is happening in your life, even those things which are beyond your control. You may blame yourself for your failed relationship, or just anything which puts you as this person who's to blame for everything, or as this person who holds responsibility for every bad thing which happened in the relationship. And actually, when you are in this cycle of self blame, you will feel so bad about yourself because it cripples you to the point where you feel that actually everything which is happening in your life, every bad thing which is happening in the life of others is because of you. And when you continue, and then the other aspect of blame also is blaming the other person. You may also find yourself like blaming the narcissist or the abuser for what happened. That's still part of blame because you are shifting the responsibility from looking at you to looking at something else. And when you blame yourself, it strips away your responsibility. And the best thing you can do actually in your healing journey is to move from blame to responsibility. Blame is in the past. Blame is because of past experiences, but responsibility is because of the present moment. But the other thing which you can use with this blame is you can use blame actually as a motivator of areas in your life you need to work on. If you blame yourself because you didn't see the signs, learn about the signs. If you blame yourself because you lacked boundaries, work on developing your boundaries. If you blame yourself because you've always find yourself in toxic relationships, then work on those underlying beliefs or work on finding the reasons why you always find yourself in those toxic relationships. So you can shift from self blame now to using the things you blame yourself for as areas you need to work on in your life. And actually, so you may ask yourself this like, why do you blame yourself so much, even for things you can control? Actually, this is because of those negative beliefs you have about yourself. Let's say you were raised in a household where your parents or your caregivers constantly blamed you for everything which was happening in your life. When you're constantly blamed for everything which is happening in your life, you'll tend to assume responsibility for other people's actions. And also in the course of that relationship with your abuser of course blamed you, because if there's one thing about abusive relationships is they never really take full responsibility of their lives. So because they don't take full responsibility, they always shift the blame to you. And when they constantly shift that blame to you, you'll tend to feel that actually you are the cause of everyone's problems or everyone's shortcomings in their lives, because you've been constantly been told that you are to blame. So your mind has latched onto this belief that actually maybe you are to blame. So it's not who you are, it's just because of your past experiences. So when you jump to responsibility, you now look at the present moment. Like, what are you doing in the present moment to free yourself from the blame? What are you doing in the present moment to work on your boundaries? What are you doing in the present moment to work on those underlying root causes? That's now the difference between blame and responsibility. With blame, you hand over power to the abuser, but with responsibility, you hand over power to yourself. And it's always in the present moment. You cannot take responsibility for someone's actions, and you also can't take responsibility for your actions in the past. No, you can only take responsibility for your actions in the present, or for how past actions affect present actions, like for how your past unhealed traumas affect how you perceive relationships and how you perceive life presently. So if you jump from this point of self-blame to responsibility, at least you'll be taking your power back in your healing journey, and that's where you ought to be. The point where you are looking at your present life and looking at what you are doing and looking at what you will do to break free from those binds of abuse. Nothing more will take you to that place of freedom. It's only looking at the present moment. And the best way to break free from this cycle of blaming yourself is, of course, to work on those negative beliefs you've developed because of your past experiences. When you work on those beliefs, you'll get to the point where you will understand that actually you are only responsible for you, and it doesn't matter what you did in the past. No, you just make peace with the past. That's what we do when we process those unhealed wounds. We make peace with the past. It's like letting go of the past and embracing the new. It's like weeding out those unhealthy aspects within ourselves so that we can grow. Hope you found that informative, guys. So don't blame yourself so much, but focus on what you are doing in the present moment so that you can understand your limits and what you cannot tolerate from others. Until next time, feel free to share, subscribe, and comment.